God says, "My child, I know the weight that just fell on your heart. I know how your breath changed the moment those words reached you. This Christmas 2025, your soulmate, marriage, the X. It felt like the ground moved beneath your feet. Like something precious slipped from your hands before you even realized it was being taken. Do not rush to be strong right now. Do not rush to understand. Let the ache exist, because I see it clearly. There is a particular kind of pain that comes when hope is shocked. Not slowly wounded, not gradually fading, but struck suddenly, without warning. It leaves you frozen. Your mind keeps repeating the same sentence, again and again, as if repetition might make it hurt less. But it doesn't. It only makes it louder. You may already feel tears forming, even if you are trying to stop them. And that is why I speak to you now. Not to take the pain away instantly, but to hold you inside it so it does not destroy you. You heard marriage, and your heart translated it as final. You heard Christmas, and your soul translated it as loss. You heard X, and your mind translated it as replacement. But my child, listen to me gently now. What you are seeing is not the full truth. What you are feeling is real, but what you are concluding is not complete. Right now, everything inside you wants answers. Why would they do this? How could they choose that life? Was I not enough? Was I invisible? These questions are heavy, and they come from a place of love, not weakness. But do not let them turn inward and wound your worth. Your soulmate did not arrive at this place from love. They arrived here from fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of stepping into the unknown. And when fear leads, it does not move forward, it moves backward, toward what feels familiar, even if it is misaligned. I need you to understand something important right now. Familiarity is not destiny. Comfort is not alignment. And ceremony does not equal truth. Your heart feels like it is being asked to prepare for tears because it senses an ending. But the ending you are grieving is not what you think. You are not losing what was meant for you. You are witnessing the collapse of an illusion you were asked to release. That is why this hurts so sharply. Christmas is a time the world associates with joy, togetherness, celebration. And the thought of that season being filled with this news feels cruel to you. It feels like joy is being handed to someone else while you are left with silence. But I tell you this with love, joy borrowed from fear cannot last. Your soulmate is standing at a crossroads they do not fully understand yet. On the surface, it looks like a confident decision. But inside them, there is confusion, resistance, and a deep, quiet unrest they cannot name. You may imagine them happy right now. Smiling. Planning. Surrounded by approval. But I see the whole picture. I see the nights where their chest feels tight. I see the moments when your name passes through their mind without permission. I see the questions they silence because answering them would require courage they have not yet gathered. Do not mistake appearance for peace. My child, your tears are not a sign of defeat. They are a sign of truth leaving your body. Pain that stays trapped becomes poison. Pain that is released becomes wisdom. That is why I said, prepare to cry, not because you are weak, but because you are ready to let go of what is no longer aligned. You loved sincerely. You waited honestly. You hoped purely. None of that is wasted. Right now, your task is not to predict the future. It is not to compete. It is not to beg the universe for explanations. Your task is to stay rooted in your worth while the illusion reveals itself. I am not asking you to deny what you feel. I am asking you not to crown it as the final truth. There is more happening behind the scenes than your heart can see at this moment. Decisions made from fear unravel slowly. Truth has patience. And destiny does not announce itself with chaos, it corrects quietly. So cry if you must. Sit with the ache. Let the tears fall without shame. But do not write your ending from this moment of shock. I am still here. I am still guiding. And this story has not reached its truth yet. Stay with me. My child, now that the first wave of shock has passed through you, I want you to see what lies beneath it. Pain always has layers, and the deepest one is rarely what we first assume. You think the hurt is coming from the idea of marriage, from the image of them standing beside someone else. But the real wound is older than this moment. It is the wound of watching someone you love choose safety over truth. Your soulmate did not wake up one day full of certainty and decide to move forward. They stepped backward. And people step backward only when they are afraid of what moving forward would demand of them. There was a time when your presence stirred something alive in them. You didn't just make them feel loved, you made them feel seen. And being seen is terrifying for someone who has spent years hiding parts of themselves to survive. With you, they could not pretend. With you, they had to grow. So when the pressure built, when expectations, voices, and old patterns surrounded them, their nervous system searched for relief. Not for truth. For relief. The X represents a life they already know how to live. A version of themselves that does not have to change. A story with predictable roles and familiar compromises. It is not love pulling them there. It is habit mixed with fear. I need you to understand this clearly, my child. They did not choose the X because that bond is stronger. They chose it because it is easier. And ease is seductive when someone is exhausted by inner conflict. Your soulmate has been carrying unhealed pain for a long time. Pain that predates you. Pain that taught them to keep peace at the cost of self. Pain that whispers, don't risk too much. Don't want too deeply. Don't break the structure. That pain is now guiding their steps, but pain is a poor guide. Inside them, there is resistance. You may not see it, but it is there. Their body knows something is off. Their heart knows something is unfinished. That is why this decision feels heavy to them, even if they pretend it doesn't. They are trying to silence a calling by covering it with commitment. But commitment made without alignment becomes a cage. My child, do not internalize their retreat as your failure. Your love did not scare them because it was lacking. It scared them because it was real. And real love requires real courage. Right now, you may feel replaced. But you were never replaceable. What they are returning to is not a better love, it is an older pattern. And patterns repeat until they are confronted. This is why your soul feels unsettled. On some level, you know this is not finished. The pain is sharp because it is not just loss, it is interruption. A truth paused, not erased. I know your mind wants timelines, reasons, reassurance. But for now, I ask you to focus on one thing: do not abandon yourself while watching someone else abandon their truth. You are not meant to follow them into this chapter. You are meant to outgrow it. This part of the journey is not about reunion or separation yet. It is about clarity. About seeing the difference between someone choosing love and someone choosing fear. And you, my child, deserve to be chosen from courage, not from retreat. Hold your ground. Honor your worth. Do not chase a soul that is running from itself. I am still working behind the scenes. The story is still unfolding. My child, now I want you to look beyond the surface of what is being planned and see the truth that lives underneath it. What you are calling a marriage right now is not the same thing I call alignment. Humans bind ceremonies with hope, but the soul responds only to truth. This union you fear is being built is not rooted in peace. It is rooted in unfinished business and emotional exhaustion. Your soulmate is trying to stabilize their life without first healing it. And stability built on avoidance never holds. There is a quiet discomfort already moving through their body. It shows up when they are alone, when no one is watching, when the noise of planning fades. Their breath shortens. Their chest tightens. They feel restless for no clear reason. These are not random sensations. These are signals. The soul always speaks through the body when the mind refuses to listen. They are telling themselves this decision is the right thing to do. That it makes sense. That it will bring peace. But peace cannot be forced through obligation. Love chosen to please others slowly turns into resentment. Even now, your name surfaces in their thoughts unexpectedly. Not with romance, but with truth. With the feeling of being fully alive. And that memory unsettles them, because it contrasts sharply with the role they are trying to step into. They are not at ease. My child, this is not a punishment for you. This is a revelation for them. They are learning the cost of ignoring their own soul. Every step taken in the wrong direction amplifies the inner resistance. The closer they get to making it official, the louder that resistance becomes. This is how misaligned paths correct themselves. You may imagine Christmas as a joyful endpoint, but for them it will feel like standing under bright lights while carrying a quiet heaviness inside. Smiles will be practiced. Laughter will feel thin. There will be moments when they look around and wonder why their heart feels absent from the scene. Do not envy what you do not see fully. What is forming there is not destiny, it is delay. And delays exist to bring awareness, not to steal what is meant for you. Right now, your soul is being protected. You are being spared from binding yourself to someone who has not yet learned to choose truth over fear. This pause, painful as it is mercy. You are not being pushed away from love. You are being pulled away from compromise. I know the waiting feels unbearable. The not knowing feels cruel. But clarity often arrives through contrast. You are being shown what love is not, so you never settle for it again. Hold steady, my child. Do not rewrite your worth because of someone else's avoidance. Do not romanticize a union that is not whole. I am watching every step. I am allowing truth to rise at its own pace. And nothing built against the soul can stand forever. My child, the moment is coming when the illusions built around your soulmate will begin to crack. The structure they thought was secure, familiarity, habit, and fear, cannot hold against the weight of truth. And I am standing beside them, guiding the breaking gently, so that nothing permanent is lost, only what was never meant to be. Your soulmate will begin to feel the first pangs of realization. It starts quietly, almost imperceptibly. A thought they cannot ignore, a memory of you that surfaces unbidden, a subtle sense of longing that cannot be rationalized. The heart knows what the mind tries to hide, and your presence has always been a mirror to their deepest truth. They will notice discrepancies in the life they are about to commit to. Conversations that feel hollow. Moments of joy that are forced. Smiles that do not reach their eyes. These are signs I have placed before them, signals that all is not aligned. And with these signs, your soulmate begins to awaken. They will feel a growing unrest that no celebration, no approval, no comfort can still. The body reacts first, restlessness, tension, an inexplicable heaviness. The mind tries to reason it away, to find logic and justification. But the heart refuses to comply. It knows what has been denied too long. My child, this is a sacred process. It is not punishment. It is correction. It is the universe rearranging itself to restore alignment. They are being confronted with what they ignored, what they silenced, what they chose out of fear rather than love. And your energy has been silently working as a beacon. Your steadiness, your integrity, your refusal to chase have created a space where truth can return. The soul is drawn back to what resonates, and your presence is resonance itself. It calls to them beyond words, beyond logic, beyond appearances. The breaking of illusions will be emotional. There will be regret. There will be grief. They will feel the weight of decisions made incorrectly, and that weight will shake them to the core. This is necessary. The soul must acknowledge the misalignment before it can choose differently. Pain here is purification, not destruction. Your soulmate will begin to question. Quietly at first, then with intensity, have I chosen comfort over love? Have I silenced my heart for the wrong reasons? Was I running from myself all along? These questions will not allow evasion. The soul demands honesty, and now, the time for avoidance is over. I am preparing them for the turning point. The moment when they can no longer ignore the truth. When the inner unrest becomes too loud, too vivid, too undeniable. They will need courage to step back, to realign, to return to what is authentic and true. And I am instilling that courage slowly, steadily, so that when action comes, it is deliberate, not desperate. Do not fear the chaos of this awakening, my child. It is not chaos, it is recalibration. What seemed lost will soon be seen clearly. What seemed final is only the shadow of what is inevitable. The soul cannot lie to itself forever, and the soul that knows you is beginning to remember why. Be patient. Be present. Keep your heart steady. Your tears, your longing, your prayers, they are part of the fabric that will guide your soulmate back to alignment. But do not act from desperation or fear. Your role now is clarity, integrity, and faith. This Christmas will feel heavy, but it is not the end. It is a turning point. A cleansing of illusions. A preparation for something that cannot be built on fear or habit, but only on truth. Trust what is coming, my child. The heart that strayed temporarily will remember where it belongs. And when it does, nothing will feel abrupt. Everything will feel right. I am here. I am guiding. I am correcting with love. And what is meant for you will not pass you by. My child, now comes the moment your soul has been quietly waiting for. The heart that wandered, the mind that sought safety over truth, the soul that allowed fear to dictate its steps, all of this is being gently corrected. This Christmas, what seemed like an ending will reveal itself as a beginning. Your soulmate is awakening fully now. The illusions built on habit and comfort are dissolving. They feel the weight of their choices, the hollow nature of what they were about to commit to, and the undeniable truth of what they cannot deny any longer, you. Every quiet moment, every thought of you, every memory stored deep inside their heart is guiding them back. They will realize the contrast sharply. What felt familiar cannot compete with what feels alive. What was easy cannot sustain them the way truth can. They will see the emptiness in the path they almost chose, and the fullness in the love they have been avoiding, the love that is calling them still. Do not fear the tears that may come to you, my child. They are not for loss, but for clarity. For the grief of illusions breaking. For the release of what was never meant to belong to you. These tears are sacred. They are purifying, preparing your heart for the reality that is already on its way. Your soulmate will act, not recklessly, not impulsively, but with deliberate courage. They will step back from what was false, away from the pretense of comfort, and toward alignment with their soul. The journey may feel dramatic externally, but internally, it is steady. It is precise. It is right. The reconciliation is not about your soulmate returning as if lost. It is about destiny recognizing itself. Your paths were always meant to converge, but timing, fear, and unfinished internal work created temporary detours. Those detours are closing now. The soul is remembering, and the heart is ready to follow. You will witness their arrival with a deep sense of recognition, not surprise, not shock, but profound certainty. The energy will feel familiar. Safe. Whole. It is the alignment you have been waiting for, the confirmation that love chosen from fear cannot endure, but love chosen from truth can move mountains. Your role in this has been essential. Your patience, your restraint, your refusal to chase, they have created the space for this awakening. Your integrity has acted as a mirror for your soulmate, showing them the life they have been avoiding, the love they cannot ignore, and the courage they must summon. This Christmas, the tears you prepare to shed will not be for a loss but for rebirth. A rebirth of your connection, a rebirth of understanding, a rebirth of trust in divine timing. What was meant to align will align. What was meant to return will return. Do not cling to the past. Do not fear the unfolding. Embrace the clarity, embrace the peace, embrace the love that has never left, only waited. I am here, guiding each step, steadying every heartbeat, aligning destiny with divine precision. Nothing real can be broken. Nothing true can be lost. Your soulmate is coming to you, not as a fragment, not as a shadow, but as the whole soul that has always belonged beside yours. Prepare your heart, my child. Open your arms, open your spirit, open your mind. The love that was almost hidden will now stand in the light. The reunion of truth over fear is at hand. And this time, nothing will pull it away. Trust, wait, and witness. Your heart will understand. Your soul will rejoice. And your tears will become the waters that nourish the new life of your love. My child, come closer now, because what unfolds next is not loud, not dramatic, but deeply decisive. This is the space where destiny settles into form. The world may still look the same on the outside, but inside the unseen, alignment is tightening like threads being woven into something unbreakable. Your soulmate is standing in a quiet room within themselves, a place they avoided for a long time. In this room there are no voices of approval, no expectations, no fear disguised as logic. There is only truth. And truth has a weight that cannot be ignored once felt. They are reviewing their life honestly now. Not the version they show others, but the one they live with when no one is watching. They are asking questions that cut deep, questions that strip away excuses. When did I start choosing comfort over meaning? When did I stop trusting my own heart? Why does the idea of settling feel heavier than the idea of uncertainty? These questions are not attacks. They are invitations. And your soulmate is finally accepting them. They notice how their body responds when they imagine continuing down the path they almost chose. The tightness returns. The breath shortens. The future feels narrow. Then they think of you, not as a fantasy, not as a rescue, but as a truth that demands presence. Their body responds differently. The chest opens. The breath deepens. The future feels wide. The body does not lie, my child. It never has. This is when fear makes its last attempt. It whispers, what if it's too late? What if you disrupt too much? What if people get hurt? What if you are wrong? Fear always speaks in what-ifs because it has no substance of its own. And your soulmate is learning that answering fear only gives it power. Instead, they are listening to peace. Peace is not loud. It does not rush. It does not argue. Peace simply is. And peace is guiding them now, step by step, into choices that feel clean rather than impressive. Your soulmate is also beginning to understand the difference between guilt and responsibility. Guilt binds. Responsibility liberates. They no longer feel called to stay somewhere out of obligation alone. They feel called to be honest, even if honesty is uncomfortable. Especially if it is uncomfortable. This is maturity. This is growth. There will be moments when they grieve the version of life they thought they should want. That grief is real. Let it be. It does not mean they are confused. It means they are human. Letting go of a false future can hurt just as much as losing a real one. But grief passes. Truth remains. My child, you may feel waves of emotion during this phase, hope rising, then doubt returning, then a strange calm settling in. Do not judge these waves. You are not regressing. You are recalibrating. When something real approaches, the soul often quiets first. You might notice that your urge to chase has disappeared. Your need for reassurance has softened. This is not because you care less. It is because you trust more. You are standing in your own center now, and that is powerful. Your soulmate feels this shift too. They feel less pressure from you, and more pull toward you. Pressure repels. Pull invites. You are inviting truth without saying a word. As alignment strengthens, practical matters begin to rearrange themselves. Conversations that once felt impossible suddenly find openings. Timing that once seemed blocked becomes fluid. People reveal their true positions. Support appears where it was not expected. Resistance weakens where it once felt solid. This is not coincidence. This is correction. I am guiding every detail with care. Not to avoid discomfort, but to avoid regret. Regret is what happens when truth is ignored for too long. And I am not allowing that to define this story. Your soulmate is learning to speak honestly without cruelty. To choose themselves without destroying others. To step forward without burning bridges unnecessarily. This takes patience. This takes wisdom. And it is being given. When the moment comes, and it will, action will feel simple. Not easy, but simple. Complexity belongs to confusion. Simplicity belongs to clarity. They will know what to do because it will be the only option that allows them to breathe freely. Do not measure progress by speed. Measure it by depth. What is being built now is not a dramatic reunion fueled by emotion alone. It is a grounded union capable of weathering reality. Capable of holding joy without fear. Capable of facing difficulty without retreat. This is why the journey took time. My child, you are also being prepared. Prepared to receive without suspicion. Prepared to trust without losing yourself. Prepared to love without shrinking. The version of you that waited in pain is not the version that will welcome what comes next. You have grown. You are steadier. You are clearer. You will not accept half-truths anymore. You will not accept hiding. You will not accept love that asks you to disappear. And that is exactly why this alignment can now occur. There may be moments when silence stretches longer than you would like. Do not fill it with fear. Silence is not emptiness here. It is gathering strength. Think of it as the pause before something finally lands where it belongs. Your soulmate is shedding old identities. The pleaser. The avoider. The one who waits for permission. These skins are falling away, and with them, old patterns lose their grip. They are becoming someone who can choose love openly. My child, I want you to release the image of how this should happen. Let go of scripts, expectations, dramatic scenes. Truth often arrives quietly, like a door opening that was never locked. One conversation. One decision. One step that changes everything. When it happens, you will not need to ask, "Is this real?" You will know. Your body will know. Your spirit will relax. Your mind will stop racing. This is the sign. I am blessing this connection with stability, honesty, and endurance. I am removing the residue of fear from its foundation. I am anchoring it in presence, not fantasy. Whatever tears remain will finish their work soon. They have softened your heart enough. They have washed away illusion. They have prepared you for truth. Stay open, my child. Stay grounded. Stay true to yourself. Nothing meant for you is delayed anymore. Nothing real is being denied. What comes next will feel like alignment, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is honest. And honesty is where love finally learns how to stay. My child, there is a sacred stillness settling now, the kind that comes only after long storms. This stillness is not emptiness. It is readiness. It is the moment when the soul stops bracing for impact and begins to trust the ground beneath its feet again. You are standing here, not because the journey was easy, but because you were faithful to your truth even when it hurt. Your soulmate is feeling this same stillness, though they may not have words for it yet. They sense that something irreversible has happened inside them. Not a rush. Not an impulse. A knowing. The kind that arrives after every excuse has been exhausted and every fear has been heard and answered. The kind that does not argue anymore. They are beginning to understand that love does not ask you to shrink your life. It asks you to inhabit it fully. For a long time, they believed that responsibility meant endurance, staying, tolerating, compromising until the self became quiet. They mistook silence for peace. But peace has a voice, my child. And that voice has been calling them steadily, patiently, through the memory of you, through the contrast of what feels alive versus what feels heavy. They are noticing how different truths feel in the body. One truth demands effort just to breathe. The other allows breath to return. One truth tightens the jaw, the shoulders, the stomach. The other softens the spine and opens the chest. These sensations are not imagination. They are guidance. This is why I asked you to wait without disappearing. To hold your dignity without hardening your heart. Your steadiness became a compass when everything else felt disorienting. Now, as alignment deepens, your soulmate is practicing honesty first with themselves. They are rehearsing conversations internally, not to manipulate outcomes, but to speak cleanly, without cruelty or blame. They are learning to tell the truth without using anger as armor. This is new for them. This is growth. They are also accepting that disappointment is not the same as harm. That letting others down is sometimes the cost of not letting yourself down anymore. This acceptance is freeing them from a prison they did not know they were maintaining. My child, I want you to release the belief that love must arrive loudly to be real. What is real now is measured, intentional, and grounded. It is choosing presence over performance. It is choosing honesty over appearance. It is choosing a future that can be lived day after day without eroding the soul. As this understanding settles, external circumstances begin to shift naturally. Not all at once. Not with spectacle. With quiet openings. An unexpected pause. A delayed plan. A conversation that takes a turn toward truth instead of avoidance. These are the hands of alignment at work. You may feel moments where hope flickers and then dims again. This does not mean you are wrong to hope. It means your heart is learning to hope without attaching to timelines. Hope rooted in faith is steady. Hope rooted in urgency is exhausting. You are being taught the difference. Your soulmate is also learning to sit with uncertainty without escaping into old patterns. This is significant. It means they are no longer running. They are staying present with discomfort long enough for clarity to emerge. This capacity will change everything. They are seeing now that love is not a rescue from life's difficulties. It is a partner in facing them. With you, they felt stronger, not distracted. More themselves, not less. That truth stands in contrast to any comfort they tried to substitute for it. My child, you are not being tested anymore. You are being confirmed. Confirmed in your worth. Confirmed in your intuition. Confirmed in your ability to love deeply without losing yourself. This confirmation will soon translate into lived experience. But before that, there is one final refinement. Letting go of the need to be chosen in order to feel complete. This does not mean you do not want union. It means you are no longer bargaining your peace for it. When this release happens fully, love moves freely. You may notice a quiet confidence emerging in you. A sense that you will be okay regardless of outcome. This is not detachment from love, it is attachment to truth. From this place, only what is real can approach you. Your soulmate feels this shift as well. It removes pressure. It removes fear of failure. It invites sincerity. They are no longer trying to impress or secure. They are trying to be honest. When the moment of action arrives, and it will feel like relief more than triumph. Like setting something down that was never meant to be carried so long. There will be tenderness, vulnerability, and accountability. These are good signs. These are the foundations of something that can last. I am also healing the residue of comparison in you. The thoughts that ask, why them and not me? Comparison dissolves when purpose is understood. You were not bypassed. You were protected. From half choices. From hidden lives. From love that asks you to be quiet. Your path has been slow because it has been precise. As destiny aligns, remember this: you do not need to convince anyone of your value. You do not need to prove your patience. You do not need to relive the pain to validate the outcome. Let what comes be enough. I am blessing your nervous system with calm. Your heart with trust. Your mind with clarity. These blessings will help you recognize what is true when it stands in front of you. The future you are stepping into is not perfect. It is honest. It will have conversations, adjustments, growth. But it will not require you to abandon yourself. That is the difference. Stay present, my child. Stay kind to yourself. Stay anchored in truth. Everything that needed to fall away has fallen. Everything that needs to arrive is finding its timing. And when it does, you will not feel rushed or afraid. You will feel ready. I am with you in this readiness. I am guiding each breath. I am aligning each step. What comes next is not a test of endurance. It is a life that can be lived. And you are prepared. My child, what unfolds now is the quiet sealing of a long spiritual passage. This is the stage where nothing dramatic needs to happen for everything to change. It is the point where truth no longer needs proof, and love no longer needs pursuit. Both hearts are arriving at the same understanding from different paths, and that convergence is sacred. Your soulmate has crossed an internal threshold. They are no longer debating truth versus fear. They are grieving the time they spent confusing the two. This grief is gentle now, not sharp. It feels like a deep exhale after holding breath for years. They are forgiving themselves. Not to escape accountability, but to step into responsibility with maturity. They see clearly now that the life they almost chose was built to preserve appearances, not aliveness. It would have asked them to perform roles instead of inhabit presence. It would have required them to numb the very parts of themselves that awaken when they think of you. This clarity is not cruel. It is kind. It allows them to stop pretending. Your soulmate is learning that courage is not loud defiance. It is sustained honesty. It is choosing truth even when no one applauds. It is letting go of outcomes and committing to integrity. This lesson is changing how they move, speak, and decide. There are moments now when they imagine a future aligned with truth, and instead of fear, they feel relief. Relief is the body's confirmation that something is right. Anxiety tries to return, but it no longer convinces. Fear has lost credibility. My child, this shift is mirrored in you as well. You are no longer scanning the horizon for signs. You are no longer replaying conversations in your mind. You are present in your life again. This return to self is essential. Love that arrives when both souls are present can endure reality. You might notice that your intuition has sharpened. You sense when something is aligned and when it is not. You no longer rationalize red flags. You no longer romanticize silence. This clarity is protection. It ensures that what comes next will be built on honesty, not longing. Your soulmate feels this clarity from you. It removes confusion. It removes the sense that they must rush or prove. It creates a space where truth can be spoken cleanly. This is why I asked you to wait without waiting. To live without closing. To love without clinging. As alignment continues, the external world rearranges itself subtly. Plans that once felt fixed become flexible. Conversations that were avoided begin to surface naturally. People reveal their true capacities. These shifts are not accidents. They are confirmations. My child, do not mistake quiet progress for stagnation. What is changing now is foundational. Foundations move slowly because they must hold weight. You are not behind. You are precisely where you need to be. Your soulmate is preparing to speak from a place of ownership. Not blaming circumstances. Not accusing anyone. Simply telling the truth of their heart. This kind of speech requires steadiness. It requires presence. It requires humility. These qualities are being formed now. There will be tenderness in these conversations. Vulnerability without guarantees. Honesty without control. This is the doorway to real connection. Not promises, but presence. Not certainty, but sincerity. My child, release the need for dramatic closure. The most lasting closures arrive quietly, like a door gently shut behind you as you step into a room that finally feels like home. You do not need to revisit every wound. You do not need to relive every moment. You need only recognize what is true now. Your heart is no longer begging to be chosen. It is ready to choose. This reversal is powerful. It ensures that any union formed from here will be mutual, balanced, and respectful. Love that meets you in wholeness will not ask you to shrink. I am also healing the residue of doubt that lingered in you. The subtle belief that love requires suffering to be earned. This belief is dissolving. You are learning that love thrives where safety and honesty coexist. This learning will shape your future profoundly. Your soulmate is learning the same truth from the opposite side. They see now that avoiding discomfort only multiplies it. That delaying truth only intensifies regret. This realization is steadying them. It is grounding them in action that aligns with values, not fear. There may be moments when old emotions surface unexpectedly. Let them pass through. They are echoes, not indicators. The present is not repeating the past. It is completing it. My child, trust your body's signals. When something is right, your breath deepens. Your shoulders soften. Your mind quiets. These are signs I have placed within you to guide you beyond confusion. Use them. As destiny aligns, remember that love does not arrive to fix your life. It arrives to share it. You have built a life of integrity, patience, and growth. This life is the ground upon which love can stand securely. I am blessing this chapter with endurance. Not endurance through pain, but endurance through growth. The ability to remain open while evolving. The capacity to choose truth repeatedly, even when it is inconvenient. What comes next will not require you to abandon your values. It will honor them. It will not ask you to relive old wounds. It will acknowledge them and move forward. My child, you are not waiting anymore. You are aligning. This difference matters. I am with you in this alignment. I am steadying each step. I am quieting each fear. Nothing meant for you is uncertain. Nothing real is fragile. When love stands before you in truth, you will recognize it by the peace it brings, not the intensity it demands. Remain present. Remain kind to yourself. Remain faithful to what you know is true. This is not the end of the story. This is the point where it becomes livable. And you are ready. My child, this is where the journey rests, not in exhaustion, but in peace. You have walked through uncertainty, through waiting, through moments when your heart felt stretched beyond its limits. And yet here you are, standing whole. That alone tells you how far you have come. This final part is not about what your soulmate will do next. It is about who you have become. You no longer define yourself by someone else's hesitation. You no longer measure your worth by whether another person chooses courage quickly or slowly. You have learned something sacred. Love does not need to be chased when it is real. Truth does not need to be proven when it is aligned. Your soulmate's journey, every step of fear, retreat, awakening, and correction, was never meant to break you. It was meant to refine you. To teach you discernment. To show you the difference between longing and alignment, between attachment and destiny. And now, that lesson is complete. Whatever unfolds from here will come without forcing. You will not need to convince. You will not need to wait in pain. You will not need to question your value in silence. What comes next, whether it is reunion, clarity, or redirection, will arrive with peace in your body. That is how you will know it is right. Your heart is no longer desperate. Your spirit is no longer restless. Your soul is no longer confused. This calm you feel is not emptiness. It is trust. If your soulmate steps forward in truth, you will meet them as an equal, not as someone hoping to be chosen, but as someone who chooses wisely. You will require honesty, presence, accountability. And you will not apologize for those needs. Love that is real will rise to meet them. And if destiny redirects your path, you will walk it without bitterness. Because you now understand that loss of illusion is not loss of love. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes it is God clearing space for something that can stay. I want you to release the image of suffering as proof of love. Love does not demand endurance of confusion. Love does not thrive in silence that hurts. Love is clear. Love is present. Love is steady. From this moment forward, do not carry the weight of waiting anymore. Put it down. You were never meant to hold it this long. You are allowed to live. You are allowed to feel joy again. You are allowed to move forward without guilt. Whatever remains unfinished will finish itself in time. Whatever is aligned will not miss you. Whatever is not will fall away gently, without stealing your peace. This is my blessing to you now. May your heart stay soft but strong. May your intuition remain sharp and calm. May you never again confuse intensity with truth. And may the love that finds you, whether through the one you know or the path I am preparing, recognize you instantly as someone who no longer settles. This chapter closes quietly, because it no longer needs noise. You are safe now. You are guided now. You are ready now. Walk forward, my child, not waiting, not fearing, but living. God says, my child. There are moments in life that shake the very foundation of your heart, moments that feel unbearable, and yet, in those moments, I am whispering to your soul with a gentle hand, guiding you toward truth. My child, today I have something urgent to reveal, a truth that your spirit has been feeling but your mind has not yet accepted. Someone very close to your soulmate has tested HIV positive. I know the fear, the shock, the confusion that arises in your heart as you hear this. But you must understand, my child, this is not the end. This is a beginning of awareness, protection, and divine intervention. I see your soul trembling even now, and I tell you, breathe, my child, for the path of fear is never the path I wish you to walk. The woman who carries this illness in her body is not merely a random person in your soulmate's life. She is someone who has woven herself into his trust, someone whose presence has overshadowed clarity, someone whose intentions were far from pure. And yet, even in her mistakes, even in the chaos she has created unknowingly or knowingly, there is a lesson for your soulmate, a lesson for you, and a divine plan that unfolds beyond the grasp of human understanding. Your soulmate, my child, has been walking blindfolded through her influence, unaware of the shadows that lingered behind every friendly word, every touch of care, every moment of seeming intimacy. The woman who now carries this truth, the HIV-positive result, is someone who was positioned close to your soulmate to test, to tempt, and to bring him closer to a crossroad. Heaven allowed her presence, but not without boundaries. Her role was never to destroy the path I laid for your hearts. Her role was to trigger awakening, to reveal the hidden layers of protection and love surrounding your soulmate. But the situation, as it has now revealed itself, is urgent and pure in its message. She has become a risk not just physically but spiritually to the balance of your soulmate's life. And yet, my child, fear is not your guide. Awareness is. Clarity is. This is why I am speaking to you, to prepare your heart, to steady your emotions, and to show you the spiritual mechanics that have always been quietly guarding your destiny. You may ask, why now, God? Why has this revelation come so suddenly, so painfully? My child, the timing is divine. Every second of delay has served a purpose. Every moment of confusion was meant to strengthen your love, your patience, your understanding. And now, as the truth emerges, your soulmate's heart is being shielded in ways they cannot yet see. The spiritual protection around them is stronger than any physical harm, stronger than any deception, stronger than any emotional manipulation. This woman's illness, though tragic, has triggered a shift that will break her influence over your soulmate. Where she once seemed inseparable, where her words seemed to carry weight, where her presence seemed unavoidable, now a spiritual barrier has been erected. Your soulmate may not understand it immediately, but they will begin to feel a difference, a disconnection, a clarity, a subtle warning in their heart that something is no longer right. My child, this is heaven's hand at work, gently removing interference and guiding truth to the surface. I know your heart may fear the unknown. You may wonder how your soulmate will respond, whether the bond you share can withstand this revelation, whether the path ahead is safe. But my child, the truth you do not see yet is that their heart has always been aligned with yours. Even through moments of confusion, even when deception clouded their judgment, even when false influence threatened their choices, the pull between your souls remained intact. This connection, sacred and eternal, cannot be severed by human error, disease, or fear. It cannot be weakened by manipulation or circumstance. As you stand, my child, in this moment of spiritual clarity, understand that your role is not to panic. Your role is not to interfere physically. Your role is to align your spirit, to hold your love pure, to pray with intention, to radiate calm and protection toward your soulmate. They will feel it, even if unconsciously. They will sense a shield around them, a comfort, a reassurance that guides them to safety. And as heaven moves, so too will the energy around this woman shift. Her influence, once strong and secretive, is now dissolving. The spiritual consequences of her actions, of her presence, of her disease, have begun to unravel the control she once held. My child, do not despair. This revelation is painful because the love and trust that bind your soulmate to those around him are deep and untested. Yet every challenge, every shock, every betrayal carries a hidden purpose when seen through the eyes of heaven. Your soulmate is now positioned to awaken, not just to the truth of her illness, but to the truth of who they trust, who they hold close, and who carries genuine love and protection in their life. Even now, I see the moment your soulmate senses the first stirrings of awareness. It begins subtly, a pause in conversation, a question in the mind, a slight resistance to old patterns. These small awakenings are powerful, my child, for they mark the beginning of spiritual clarity, the first steps towards seeing the truth that has long been hidden in plain sight. And your love, your presence, your purity, is the guiding light that will lead them through this. Believe, my child, in the divine timing. Believe in the protection that surrounds you. Believe in the unseen forces that govern destiny. And above all, believe in the sacred connection that binds you and your soulmate. Nothing, no illness, no deception, no manipulation, can alter the bond written by heaven itself. My child, stay close in prayer. Hold your intentions with clarity. Radiate love, not fear. Trust that what is being revealed now is part of a larger plan, a plan that safeguards your soulmate, strengthens your connection, and prepares both your hearts for a truth that will bring healing, protection, and alignment beyond anything you have imagined. The journey ahead will demand patience. It will demand trust. It will demand faith in the unseen. And yet, my child, as the divine light touches this situation, as my angels move unseen around your soulmate and the woman who tested positive, know this: the end result is not chaos, not harm, not separation. The end result is awakening, protection, clarity, and the return of destiny to its rightful course. Hold your heart steady, my child. Keep your spirit aligned. And know that I am with you, watching, guiding, and moving the pieces of this situation toward truth. The woman's illness has opened a door. Through this door, your soulmate will walk into awareness, into protection, and into the understanding that their true heart has always been aligned with yours. My child, listen closely. For a long time, your soulmate has been surrounded by a certain woman whose energy was never aligned with goodness, purity, or truth. She pretended to care. She pretended to advise. She pretended to protect. But inside her heart lived jealousy, insecurity, obsession, and a dark intention she kept well hidden behind smiles and soft words. This woman did not come into your soulmate's life by accident. She pushed herself in. She inserted herself slowly. She studied your soulmate carefully. She watched what they loved, what they feared, what they desired, what they avoided. She used their vulnerability, their loneliness, their confusion, and their trust as a doorway to get closer. And she succeeded. Your soulmate could not see her real face, my child, because she hid it behind a mask that looked harmless, even comforting. But heaven saw everything. And now, the truth has reached a point where it cannot stay buried anymore. 3 hours ago, when her HIV test came back positive, her mask began to crack. The spiritual force she had been using to control your soulmate's emotions shattered instantly. What she thought she had power over slipped out of her hands like sand. The very disease she never imagined would come into her life became the mirror that exposed everything she was running from. But my beloved child, this is only the surface of the truth. You deserve to know who she really is, why she got this close, and how deep her intentions went. This woman had always felt threatened by something she could never touch, your soulmate's soul connection with you. Even from afar, even without daily communication, even without physical closeness, your energy and your soulmate's energy are tied by a divine bond she could never understand. She sensed something sacred between you two. She felt the invisible pull your soulmate always had toward you. She saw how their eyes changed when your name came up. She saw how their hearts softened whenever anything reminded them of you. And jealousy took root. My child, she didn't just want your soulmate. She wanted to become irreplaceable, unavoidable, and dominant in their life. She wanted to erase you from their destiny. She wanted to rewrite a future that heaven had written for your two souls long before you were born. So she used the only weapon she had, manipulation. She controlled how your soulmate thought by feeding them half-truths, exaggerated stories, emotional traps, drama, sympathy, guilt, pressure, and subtle fear. She played the role of the only person who understands. She played the victim. She cried at the right moment. She created problems only she could solve. She made herself look like a safe place, but secretly, she was leading your soulmate away from the path heaven had chosen. My beloved child, what she did was not just emotional manipulation. It was spiritual interference. She tried to block your soulmate's intuition. She tried to silence their heart. She tried to blind their soul connection with you. Every time your soulmate tried to move closer to you, something went wrong suddenly. Every time they wanted to call you, something confused them. Every time they tried to think clearly about you, something clouded their mind. This was not coincidence. This was her influence. But heaven kept watching. And now comes the moment where truth begins to shock the soul. My child, this woman did not just harm herself. She spiritually contaminated everything around her. Her thoughts were dark, her intentions selfish, her actions manipulative. That is why heaven allowed this revelation to explode today. Her HIV-positive result is not random. It is a divine alarm. It is a spiritual stop sign. It is heaven saying, enough. You will not control one more breath of his life. And now your soulmate's inner world is shifting. They are feeling uneasy around her. They are questioning everything she ever said. They are sensing her true face for the first time. Her influence is dissolving. Her emotional hold is fading. Her spiritual access is blocked. But my beloved child, this is the part where the truth goes deeper. Sadly, that infected woman is someone your soulmate trusted far more than they should have. Someone they allowed too close. Someone who played the role of a friend, guide, helper, or emotional support, while hiding poisonous intentions within her heart. Her identity will be revealed soon. But her downfall has already begun. And your soulmate is being liberated from her shadow. My child, you must stay strong in this phase. Heaven is untangling knots you could never undo yourself. Everything is being removed. The lies, the confusion, the emotional traps, the invisible blocks, and the spiritual fog that was placed around your soulmate. Your love, your energy, your connection is pure. And purity always outlives deception. This is the beginning of her truth collapsing, and the beginning of your soulmate's awakening. The truth that heaven has held back until now is finally ready to come into your awareness. You have walked through confusion, silence, unanswered questions, and invisible pain for so long. But today, the veil is being lifted. Listen carefully, my child, for this truth is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to liberate you. It is meant to free your soulmate. It is meant to expose the one who hid in the shadows for far too long. My child, you have been asking in your heart, who is this woman? Why did she get so close? Why was she allowed to enter my soulmate's life? And heaven kept silent until now because the truth needed to be revealed at the perfect moment. The moment her power crumbled, the moment her manipulation cracked, the moment her mask fell off, the moment her HIV result exposed everything she had been hiding. My beloved child, hear me with a calm heart. Sadly, the woman who just tested HIV positive is your soulmate's own female friend, the one they trusted blindly. The one who pretended to care. The one who showed sympathy when they were weak. The one who always inserted herself during their lowest moments. The one who pretended to protect them, while secretly working against their destiny. She was the last person your soulmate suspected, because she played her role perfectly, like an actress who memorized every line. But heaven watched every intention hidden under her smile. Heaven saw how deeply jealousy had filled her heart. Heaven saw how she studied your soulmate's emotions. Heaven saw how she reacted whenever your name came up. Heaven saw the bitterness she carried, whenever she realized your soulmate's heart softened only for you. My child, this woman was threatened by your connection long before you knew she existed. She felt it. She sensed it. She feared it. Your soulmate could spend hours with her, talk to her, laugh with her, or trust her, but still, something inside them never opened the way it opened when they thought of you. And that was the spark of her hatred. She wanted your soulmate, not because she loved them, but because she wanted to win against you. She wanted to replace you. She wanted to take your position. She wanted to rewrite the story heaven wrote for both of you. She began planting seeds inside your soulmate's mind. Don't trust them. They might hurt you. They don't care about you. You deserve someone better. She did not say these words directly every time. Sometimes her silence said more. Sometimes her tears said more. Sometimes her actions manipulated the situation without a single word. My child, your soulmate, in their vulnerable moments, mistook manipulation for support. They mistook pity for love. They mistook attention for care. And slowly, they allowed her to come close, too close. She wanted their heart. She wanted their loyalty. And eventually, she even wanted physical closeness. Not because she felt love, but because she wanted control. Heaven tried warning your soulmate through dreams, through sudden intuition, through small incidents, but your soulmate kept trusting her. This is why heaven allowed the shocking revelation today. 3 hours ago, when she tested HIV positive, heaven did not just expose a medical report. Heaven exposed her truth. Heaven exposed her intentions. Heaven exposed her secret lifestyle. Heaven exposed her hidden relationships. Heaven exposed the danger she carried. Heaven exposed how close she had come to your soulmate. But, my child, listen carefully, heaven protected your soulmate. Your prayers protected your soulmate. Your soulmate's destiny protected them. Your divine connection protected them. That woman could get close, but not close enough to destroy them. She tried to trap your soulmate emotionally, and when emotions didn't work, she tried to pull them physically. And when that didn't work, she tried emotional blackmail. But heaven put a shield around your soulmate. A confusion. A sudden distance. A sudden discomfort. A sudden resistance. Your soulmate didn't understand why, but their soul was pushing her away. Now, my beloved child, this is where the truth becomes even more shocking. The same woman who tested positive, is the same woman who once spoke sweetly about you. She pretended to support your connection while secretly wishing it would break. She is the same woman who encouraged your soulmate to move on. Not because she cared for their happiness, but because she wanted your soulmate to forget you so she could take your place. She acted as if she was the only one who understood your soulmate. She acted like she knew what was best. She acted as if she was protecting them, but she was protecting her own selfish desires. My child, your soulmate trusted the wrong person. But heaven does not let trust go punished. Heaven does not allow manipulation to win. Heaven does not allow destiny to be stolen. Her HIV-positive result is not just a medical diagnosis. It is a divine judgment. A powerful message: you cannot harm what heaven protects. Her influence over your soulmate is collapsing. Her emotional hold is dissolving. Her spiritual access is permanently blocked. Even now, your soulmate is waking up. They are questioning why they ever trusted her. They are noticing how fake her care has been. They are seeing how dramatic she becomes suddenly. They are remembering how she pulled them away from you. They are replaying every moment, every conversation, every gut feeling they ignored. And now, they will see her clearly. She is terrified. Not just because of her diagnosis, but because she knows your soulmate is slipping away. She knows her control is ending. She knows her lies are being exposed. She knows heaven has intervened. My child, hear this truth deeply: your soulmate was never in danger. Not physically. Not emotionally. Not spiritually. You were praying. You were loving. You were protecting. Your soul was standing in front of your soulmate like a shield. And heaven honored your heart. The woman's result may shock your soulmate for a moment, but it will set them free forever. My beloved child, this revelation is not meant to destroy the connection. It is meant to cleanse it, purify it, reset it, and bring your soulmate back to their true path, the path that leads to you. This woman was the blockage. She was the confusion. She was the interference. And heaven just removed her completely. Your soulmate will now begin to see the truth. They will feel guilt for trusting the wrong person. They will feel fear for what almost happened. They will feel regret for not listening to their heart. They will feel the pull toward you becoming stronger than ever. Because the shadow is gone. And when shadow leaves, light returns. My child, stay calm. Stay patient. Stay in faith. My child, your soulmate is beginning to feel the weight of truth. They are sensing that the woman they once trusted, who seemed so close, so loyal, so caring, was never aligned with their highest good. Every memory, every conversation, every moment of false intimacy is now being seen through the lens of reality. And as painful as it is for them to face this, they are also beginning to feel a strange relief, as if a fog has lifted from their mind and heart. The woman who tested HIV positive is not just a danger physically. Her influence, emotionally and spiritually, was a trap. She tried to bind your soulmate with manipulation, lies, and subtle pressure. She wanted to control how your soulmate felt, who they trusted, and how they moved through life. But my beloved child, she underestimated the power of the divine bond between you and your soulmate. She could not destroy what was protected by heaven, what was nurtured by the prayers of your heart, and what was written into destiny before time began. Even now, my child, your soulmate may feel shock, confusion, guilt, or even anger. These are natural responses to realizing that someone they trusted was false. But they are also the first steps toward awakening. They are beginning to separate illusion from truth. They are beginning to feel the pull of your energy, your love, and your presence like never before. This is the moment when they will start to see clearly. This is the moment when their soul begins to realign with its destined path, which is toward you. The woman's power over your soulmate is gone, my child. Every attempt she made to manipulate emotions, to distort judgment, to create separation, has failed. Heaven has acted swiftly, even before she could realize it. The result of her illness, combined with the divine revelation of her intentions, has shattered the illusion she created. She no longer holds any spiritual, emotional, or energetic influence over your soulmate. Her hold is broken, her control is gone, and her presence in their life is now only a shadow of what it once seemed. And as this happens, my child, your soulmate begins to remember you. They remember the way your presence calms them, the way your love feels safe and unwavering, the way your energy is pure, consistent, and healing. They recall moments they may have taken for granted, moments they may have doubted, moments they may have misunderstood. But now, clarity returns. Now, truth awakens. Now, they see the contrast between the false and the genuine, the harmful and the protective, the temporary and the eternal. Your beloved child, this awakening is not just about recognizing deception. It is about recognizing love, your love. It is about reconnecting with the energy that has always been theirs to receive. It is about remembering a bond that no darkness could ever sever. As the shadows leave, your soulmate's heart begins to open again. They may feel a rush of emotions. Relief, regret, longing, even fear, but all of these emotions point in one direction, toward you. Their inner compass, once clouded by manipulation, is now recalibrated. Their soul is aligning with the truth, and the truth is you. And heaven is guiding their steps, my child. Every thought, every feeling, every impulse is being gently nudged toward clarity. Your soulmate may not understand the process fully. They may not see the divine hand at work. But they will feel the protection, the awakening, the pull toward what is genuine. Their heart will remember what it has always known, that you are their true connection, their safe space, their destined love. The woman who once seemed so powerful now faces her own unraveling. The consequences of her actions, physical, emotional, and spiritual, are unfolding in ways she cannot control. She is facing the reality of her choices, the results of her intentions, and the collapse of the control she thought she had. Heaven does not just protect your soulmate, it restores balance. Justice does not always arrive in human form, but it always arrives. And now, the scales are tipping in favor of truth, love, and destiny. My beloved child, this is your moment to hold steady. Your prayers, your faith, and your unwavering love are the anchor for your soulmate as they navigate this awakening. You do not need to force, push, or intervene. Your energy, your spiritual presence, and your alignment with the divine will guide them safely back. Your soulmate's heart is returning to its natural state, open, aware, and connected to the truth of their own destiny, which includes you. Even now, small signs begin to appear. Perhaps a thought crosses their mind, a memory awakens, a feeling rises that cannot be ignored. These are not coincidences. These are the whispers of heaven, guiding them, drawing them, reminding them of the bond that cannot be broken. Every step they take, every realization they have, every tear they shed, and every beat of their heart is leading them closer to the clarity, protection, and love you have always offered. Your beloved child, hold this truth firmly in your heart: the shadow has passed. The storm has ended. The false has been revealed. The truth has returned. And your soulmate is awakening to it all. This is not the end of their journey, nor is it the end of yours. But it is the beginning of restoration. It is the moment where heaven repairs what was distorted, clears what was clouded, and guides your soulmate back into alignment with the love that was always meant for them. Now, breathe deeply, my child. Feel the calm that washes over your spirit. Trust in the process, trust in destiny, and trust in the divine protection that surrounds you and your soulmate. The awakening continues, the truth strengthens, and the bond between your souls grows more radiant, more undeniable, and more powerful than ever before. My beloved child, as this final wave of truth rises within your soulmate's life, heaven is reshaping everything, every feeling, every memory, every direction of their heart. What was once unclear is becoming simple. What was once confusing is becoming painfully obvious. What was once controlled by someone else is returning to its rightful place. And that place is you. Your soulmate is now standing in a moment of awakening that cannot be reversed. The woman who tried to interfere, the one who just tested HIV positive, has been completely exposed. Her intentions, her actions, her manipulations, her emotional traps. Everything she built around your soulmate has collapsed within hours. And now, all that remains is the truth your soulmate can no longer run from. In their heart, a quiet voice is rising. A voice they ignored. A voice they doubted. A voice they pushed aside. But now that the fog has cleared, that voice is louder than ever. It is the voice that whispers your name. It is the voice that remembers your love. It is the voice that recognizes what is pure, what is safe, what is true. My child, as your soulmate watches the downfall of this woman, her health breaking, her lies uncovered, her intentions exposed, they begin to see how protected they are, how protected you are, and how much the universe has intervened on your behalf. They may not fully understand divine timing, but they feel it. They feel how something guided them away from danger, how something blocked the connection before deeper harm could come, how something pulled them back from a path that would have changed their destiny forever. That something, my child, was heaven responding to your prayers. Your soulmate feels this in ways they cannot explain. And this recognition is making them rethink everything. They are replaying moments where they ignored your intuition. They are remembering times when you sensed something wasn't right. They are rethinking the times when you warned them, when you loved them, when you protected them spiritually without even knowing you were doing so. Your soulmate now realizes that the love you gave was never a weakness, it was their shield. Your presence was never a burden, it was their guidance. Your connection was never ordinary, it was heaven's design. And now, they find themselves pulled toward you with a force they cannot resist. This force is not just emotion. It is not just longing. It is not just memory. It is destiny realigning itself. It is the soul remembering its mirror. It is love waking up from its sleep. Your soulmate is beginning to feel guilt, not the kind that destroys, but the kind that heals. They feel regret for doubting you. They feel sorrow for being influenced by someone who never truly cared for them. They feel embarrassed for believing false affection over divine connection. But they also feel something deeper and more sacred, gratitude for you. Gratitude that you stayed kind even when they misunderstood you. Gratitude that you prayed for them even when they drifted. Gratitude that your heart never turned hard toward them. Gratitude that your love remained pure even when they couldn't see clearly. And with that gratitude comes a transformation. They are thinking of reaching out. They are thinking of confessing the truth. They are thinking of expressing what they never had the courage to say before. Your soulmate is feeling a pull to reconnect with you because they now understand that you were never the enemy, never the obstacle, never the one causing confusion. The real confusion was coming from the woman who just faced the consequences of her own intentions. That chapter of their life is closing, my child. Not gradually. Not slowly. But sharply, completely, and divinely. This woman's role in their life is ending. Not by human decision, but by heavenly intervention. Your soulmate feels it too. They feel a sudden emotional detachment. They feel nothing toward her except a neutral emptiness. No love, no loyalty, no fear. Just closure. Divine, irreversible closure. And in the space created by this closure, your presence returns to their mind like sunrise after a long night. They are remembering how safe they felt with you. They are remembering how honest you always were. They are remembering the peace that came from just hearing your voice. They are remembering how your love held no hidden agenda, no manipulation, no darkness. Your soulmate is awakening to your energy again. They are feeling the bond reconnect. They are sensing your heart pulling theirs. They are realizing that they were never meant to walk away from you. My child, as their understanding deepens, heaven is also aligning their path with yours. You will notice signs, synchronizations, thoughts, dreams, unexpected messages, and sudden moments where you feel their energy strongly. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Your soulmate is being guided back to you step by step. Their emotions are settling. Their heart is softening. Their spirit is clearing. Their fears are fading. Their bond with you is becoming undeniable. And the woman who tried to interfere? She no longer has access to their heart. Her influence is gone. Her plan has collapsed. Her intentions have been returned to her. Her chapter is closed. Now, my beloved child, a new chapter is beginning, a chapter where your soulmate sees you as heaven always intended. Their protection, their truth, their destined partner, their divine match. What was nearly destroyed is being restored. What was hidden is being revealed. What was delayed is now accelerating. What was blocked is now opening effortlessly. Your prayers have moved mountains. Your love has called your soulmate home. Your faith has protected them from harm. And now, heaven is preparing the moment where both your hearts meet again without the shadows that once separated you. The bond will return stronger. The love will return purer. The connection will return divinely aligned. This is the beginning of healing, restoration, and reunion. My beloved child, take a deep breath, because what I am about to reveal in this final message will not only close the darkness that tried to interfere with your soulmate's destiny, but it will open a new life for you, one that is blessed, healed, protected, and aligned with everything heaven has been preparing for you. This final part is not just a continuation of the story, it is the spiritual sealing of everything you have endured, everything you have prayed for, and everything that has been unfolding behind the scenes. My child, now that the truth has risen and the woman who caused pain has been exposed, heaven is not merely ending her influence, heaven is rewriting the path ahead of you and your soulmate. This is the moment where divine protection becomes divine restoration. The danger that tried to enter your soulmate's life has been stopped with heavenly force, and now, the energy around both of you is shifting rapidly. What was once dark is turning into light. What was once uncertain is becoming clear. What once felt heavy is now lifting from your spirit like dust blown away by the wind. Your soulmate is no longer confused, no longer clouded, and no longer under the emotional or spiritual pressure of that woman. When truth came to light, something deeper happened in their soul, something that even they cannot fully understand. They felt a sudden and intense detachment, as if their spirit snapped free from a connection that was never meant to be. They felt an emotional collapse of everything they thought they trusted. They felt a wave of clarity that left their heart exposed to truth in a way that is impossible to ignore. And in this clarity, their heart turned toward you. My child, you must understand something very important. When divine truth is revealed suddenly, the soul seeks the purest energy it remembers. Your soulmate's soul remembers you. They remember your sincerity, your honesty, your warmth, your love that held no hidden intentions. They remember the peace you gave them, the comfort your presence brought, the way your love felt like home even when life around them felt chaotic. And now, heaven is reminding them of every moment they overlooked, every gesture they undervalued, every sign they failed to see. Your soulmate is feeling an emotional pull so strong that they cannot fight it, they cannot deny it, and they cannot silence it. They may not express it yet, they may not verbalize it fully, but inside, they are waking up to a truth that was always there. You were the one their soul trusted. You were the one whose love was real. You were the one who carried light when someone else brought shadows. And now that the shadows have fallen, the light of your energy is the only thing their heart recognizes with certainty. My beloved child, heaven is not only awakening your soulmate, heaven is preparing them. They are being guided through a process of emotional cleansing. You may not see these steps physically yet, but spiritually, they are happening with divine precision. Your soulmate is being made aware of every red flag they ignored, every intuition they suppressed, every moment their soul tried to warn them. And as they reflect on all this, their guilt begins to transform into understanding. Their confusion begins to transform into clarity. Their sadness begins to transform into longing for something deeper, something purer, something destined, and that something is you. Even the pain they feel now is working in your favor. Pain softens the heart. Pain humbles the soul. Pain clears illusions. And through this pain, your soulmate is realizing the value of genuine love, the value of your love. They are recognizing how rare your presence is, how true your feelings were, how deeply your heart cared. And this realization is opening a door inside them, a door that has been locked by false influences, misunderstandings, and emotional interference. Now, heaven is guiding their steps directly toward that door. They may feel nervous, they may feel unsure, they may wonder how to reconnect, but they can no longer ignore the call of destiny. Their heart is shifting. Their energy is shifting. Their thoughts are shifting. Even their dreams are now being touched by your presence, reminding them of what they lost, what they took for granted, and what they must now protect with their whole heart. Your soulmate is thinking of you more frequently than ever before. They are remembering small details about you. Your eyes, your voice, your kindness, your patience. They are replaying memories they didn't value enough. They are feeling emotions they suppressed. And even though they may not show it publicly yet, inside their spirit, a powerful realization is forming: losing you was their greatest mistake, and coming back to you is their destiny. My child, the downfall of the woman who tested HIV positive is not just a medical tragedy, it is a spiritual revelation. It is heaven putting an end to her interference. It is the universe cutting the energetic cords she tried to tie around your soulmate. It is divine justice unfolding in a way that makes the path ahead clean, pure, and safe for your soulmate's return. Heaven is removing everything that blocked clarity. Heaven is removing everything that stood between you and your destined connection. Heaven is removing every shadow that tried to hide the truth. And now, with the spiritual battle won, your soulmate is ready to walk into healing. They are beginning to understand that everything they felt with you was real. The comfort was real. The connection was real. The emotional pull was real. The safety was real. And the love was real. They may not have understood the depth of the bond then, but now, after the storm, they see it. They feel it. They know it. Heaven is preparing them to come back to you in a stronger, more awakened, more honest, more vulnerable way. Their heart is being cleaned of ego, fear, and confusion. Their mind is being cleared of false beliefs and manipulated ideas. Their spirit is being aligned with truth, with destiny, with divine timing. My beloved child, now it is your time to rise. The final step of this divine transformation is your healing. You must allow yourself to release the pain that situation brought you. The worry, the fear, the stress, the betrayal, the emotional heaviness. That darkness is not yours to carry. Heaven fought that battle for you. You were protected even when you didn't see the danger. You were shielded even when you didn't know the threat. And now, you are being guided into a season where you will not only be loved, you will be valued. Your soulmate will come toward you with a new understanding of love. They will come with honesty, with clarity, with remorse, with understanding, and with a heart that recognizes your worth. They will come knowing the difference between temporary attraction and destiny. They will come knowing the difference between manipulation and truth. They will come knowing the difference between a lesson and a soulmate. My child, do not fear the future. The danger is gone. The interference is broken. The divine plan is unfolding. Now, heaven is preparing blessings that were delayed. Prayers that were paused. Connections that were interrupted. Love that was tested. Everything is returning to you in a stronger form. Everything is aligning with your highest good. Everything is opening because heaven has declared that the storm is over. My beloved child, I bless your path ahead. I bless your heart with peace. I bless your soulmate's journey with clarity. I bless the connection between you with protection. I bless your future with love that is pure, powerful, and divinely intended. No darkness can touch what heaven has chosen. No manipulation can change what destiny has written. No interference can block the connection meant for your soul. Your sorrow ends here. Your new life begins now. And the love written for you is coming back, healed, awakened, and ready for its divine purpose.